Thank you very much.
Hamjambo. Hamjambo. I'll start with a very short story. You know how, as public relation practitioners, you have to take care of people of varied nature. Some who understand less than others. I told this story earlier on today in a function I was in. 4 gentlemen went hunting in the days that people used to go hunting. And one of them always thought he knew better than the others, even though he did not know. They went out to one of the national parks. They got into a small hut and slept so they could start hunting the following morning. Early in the morning at around 3 o'clock, the gentleman who did not know very much stood up and said, "Guys, I'm going hunting. We'll see you later." They said, "You wait until morning." He said, "No, you have to start these things early." He left. At about 7:30, 8 o'clock, when they were just getting ready for, making a cup of tea, they heard somebody screaming, "Fungua mlango! Help!" They peeped outside and this man was coming, running, being chased by a lion. Fungua mlango! He ran, he got to the door, they opened the door, the man sidestepped. The lion went into the hut, akafunga mlango, akasema chinjeni hiyo, wacha nikatafute ingine. And I told that story because I know you deal with different kinds of people, so you know who I'm talking about. I'm very happy to be here today, and very, very pleased that my friend Mr. Tiampati is here. Thank you very much to see you. Ezekiel Mutua, we go back. Dr. Ezekiel Mutua, nimesikia fununu. Congratulations. No relations at all. That is a Mutua sitting arrangement at that table I see today. And my friends, Madam Tikolo, I'm very glad that you invited us, and I'm glad to be here. My office was for nearly 9 years just up here, directly above here. When I was starting my office, I could see this foyer and the rest of Nairobi. It was just at a corner just above here that I coined the phrase Najivunia kuwa Mkenya. So I feel like I'm back home at KICC. I'm not going to say much tonight. I don't like giving a lot of speeches. I know some of you are expecting me to talk about the blessings that you are facing in Machakos, but I will not do that today because this is not the right forum. When I was coming in, I saw somebody there asking me about the new city that we are building in Machakos, where we are giving free land. But those are topics for another day, because if I start mentioning that we've built a new stadium that we are launching tomorrow, that people are invited, it will now start directing us from talking about these things. But, because if I start saying Sekafa is coming, we're launching a new stadium, you're invited to Machakos, it is not proper at this time. Because if this was not a PRSK event where we concentrate on just PRSK, I would have given you a little bit about Machakos. But maybe if you invite me another time, I'll talk to you about the 40 tractors that are plowing around Machakos, providing food security. The more than 70 ambulances that are in the high seas for our mothers, so that they don't have to give birth on the road as they are carried by mkokotenis. And the various projects we are doing in hospitals, and also my minister who is here was mentioned earlier, and our social welfare program, where we are giving 15 million shillings for youth to start businesses as grants, not loans, and 20 million for women, 10 for elderly, 10 for disabled. But if this was not, I would have been able to tell you more, but I don't want to talk about all those things, or even the police cars that we've gotten, about 140, and the CCTV cameras. So I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about PR. And public relations is very difficult. because you must always have something to tell your audience, and the audience has to be receptive in a positive manner. It is about identity. It is about interpretation, because the message is not as important as how it is received. If you don't give the right message, it is not received properly. But I've always said that everything begins with yourself. If you're a PR practitioner, you have to believe in yourself. When I said najivunia kuwa Mkenya, it is not because I wanted others to jivunia kuwa Kenya. It is because I jivunia kuwa Mkenya. And I hope hata wewe unajivunia kuwa Mkenya. That is why I always wonder why Kenyans, they go overseas to London, or they go to America for 2 weeks and they come back with an accent. They start saying, you know, my name is Alfred Mutua. And somebody says, why you speak with an accent? They say, well, I lived in the US for about 7 years or 5 years. And, but it always baffles me, because when some of our people go to India for 15 years, they never come back with an accent. You know, Mr. Tiampati, no, it's good. You're sitting there very good now. You know, this is a PRSK event, no? Eh? I know I spent many years in India, no? So, you know, I think some of these things are put-ons, but we need to be proud of where we are. I've always said that a PR practitioner is somebody who can tell you to go to hell in such a way that you actually look forward to the trip. Because we are supposed to put things together. Let me take a few minutes as I come to the conclusion to talk about our country. Kenya is at crossroads. We are at a moment whereby we can either take off or fail miserably forever. We have squandered 50 years since independence in experimenting different things. I've always said it's a pity that when Mzee Jomo Kenyatta died in 1978, at that time, countries like South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand were sending their experts to learn about development in this country. Today, we are doing the reverse, and we are receiving aid from them. So we've been given a new opportunity to change this country. And we'll only be able to do it if we're able to transform our dreams into reality by something we call action. The time for planning is gone. Kenyans want to see things on the ground, and we need to do it in a very fast manner. We are trying to catch up with others who are ahead of us. So speed is of the essence. Innovation and embracing technology is important also. And I know our ICT PS is here, because that is key. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. And so we need to do something that is going to change things. But in all this, we need transparency. Corruption is what has ruined this country. You hear the voices fighting some of us in Machakos as we do a few things. It is because we have said no to corruption. We have said no to deals. The money we are getting is for our children, our poor mothers and fathers, and our youth who are walking around aimlessly with no jobs. If we start taking those little monies that we are being given, then we are going to go nowhere. And so we need to focus on Mwananchi. And I'm glad that if all our leaders can hold hands together, regardless of affiliations, and move in the same direction, we'll be able to go somewhere. In conclusion, I know Kentis is looking at me very badly because she's in the board of Machawood in Machakos, and I'm telling her I'm sorry, I cannot talk about Machawood today because you know, it's a PRSK event. You know, she would have liked me to talk about that Machawood will be open for business by early next month, whereby we will have film studios and music studios for people to record their music, actually artists to record their music for free, and so that we can help them to market. But I'll not be able to talk about that. Even the plans I have for Cobra Squad to be the first major film made in Machawood, I'll talk about that another time, because this is not the forum for that. Ladies and gentlemen, the only thing I can tell you about Machakos is one: Machakos is a place to be. And I welcome all of you to join us. I want to congratulate all the winners, the ones who will be receiving awards in a few minutes, and all the practitioners of PR and to say that please tomorrow, welcome to Machakos as we open our new stadium that we've built in record time, 4 weeks. I think the fastest stadium ever made in the continent of Africa and maybe the world. Karibu and God bless you.
Thank you, Daktari. You all must agree that it was a very good choice of a keynote address. He's one of us, and you're doing us proud. Please keep it up. And of course, you are ensuring that you are keeping within the Constitution by having diversity within Machakos. I'm proud to be a member of Machawod. And those of you who are doubting what's happening in Machakos, watch this space.